My bad, bro. All right, bro. But look, welcome back to another episode of Real Me Real Podcast. If you guys new to this channel, my name is Jarrell. I'm your host, Real, aka this is my podcast. I kind of said that backwards, but I'm your host, also known as Real, and this is my podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Real Me Real Podcast, the most fire, most genuine, number one up-and-coming podcast. And if you've been rocking with me this whole time since season 1, I love you. I know you guys seen the growth, and I just want to let you guys know, like I just said, we are just getting started. So I know you guys seen it. If you're a real one, I feel like a lot of people can really, not a lot of people, but I don't know, but you can really see. Like, I really was doing this inside my house, and I will keep saying it. I don't care. I will say it over and over again because I really want people to understand on how close, the life that you want is. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everyone has their own path and how they're going to, go about their way, find their way. But I just want people to understand that you could choose what you want to do. Like, I chose this. I wanted to be a podcast host. I wanted to be a producer of a show. I wanted my own show on YouTube, and that's what I did. And that's why I always emphasize that I just started in my house, and now we're sponsored in Hollywood. And that being said, of course, this video is sponsored by nothing but his studios. We in here for the B Room. Lately, we haven't been too much filming in the studio, actually. We've been actually with Asali, which is Milo. So actually, shout out Milo. We got a lot of content up on the channel right now. Let me know if you guys fuck with that episode we just did live inside the store. And I mean this in the best way. Milo is down for whatever, for real. So at this point, actually right now, we actually have a part of a vlog already in the works that you guys should be seeing, right, DJ? That we just filmed. Yes, yeah, we just filmed the other day, bro. So a lot of content with me and Milo. I just told him we should give it to him all summer, bro. I said, you know what? Fuck it. We should just give it to him all summer. We're doing content. They're loving it. We're in the Solly store. We're dripped. It's good hospitality, of course. And we're going to keep that train rolling. And I got a lot of other interviews I got planned for you guys, so be on the lookout for those as well. I'm just trying to update you guys what's been going on. I mean, you guys been seeing what's been going on. We've been working. And, go stream the episode that we just did with Jay Uncut. We just did Jay Uncut. That's Ruby Roses. Ruby Rose was just here. Ruby Rose was just here the other day. What is it?
Somebody about to walk in.
Right now?
It look like it.
Are they calling me right now?
Nah, it just looked like somebody was about to walk in.
Oh, damn. He said I'm cool to film the rest of the episode. Is it Marv?
Nah, it didn't look like a Marv.
If it's not Marv,
we're good.
Yeah, if it's not Marv, he ain't authorized to get me out of here. But yeah, so basically Ruby Rose was literally just here. But talking about Ruby Rose, we just did an episode with her producer, Jay Uncut. And yeah, that was just the other week. I do this podcast shit so much, you know what I'm saying? And I do a lot of great podcasts, a lot of really great episodes, so I'm just trying to highlight you guys on what else you guys maybe could have missed on. I'm trying to think what else. Someone walking in? Someone walking in?
No.
Am I tripping?
I don't see no one.
I don't know. There's people here, bro. There's a meeting, but I guess they're like moving into this room, so that's why we're kind of like. But I told him, huh?
Kind of like what?
Kind of like, wait, what were you about to say? Oh, like,
fancy.
Yeah, like that's where we're kind of like trying to see, like, hopefully no one walks in here. But yeah, they moved the meeting to this room. Wait, DJ, say something real quick.
Yo. Oh, on this side.
Oh, okay, bet. I got you. Yeah, so basically that's why we're kind of like, I don't know. I thought someone opened the door for a second. You guys let me know. You guys can actually see behind me. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what else episodes you guys can be on the lookout for. I mean, that you guys maybe have missed. What else? Who else have I done, DJ? In the past, we said Jay Uncut. We did a lot of Milo.
Good Cook.
Leah Monet. That's, of course, you guys gonna stream the episodes. Man, shout out Leah Monet, man. Light skin. Her food is good. Food is good. Is someone here?
Yeah, somebody.
What are they saying?
They didn't say nothing. You're just walking back and forth.
All right, well, we're good. We're good at filming here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're good. And you can see the Deso Dub one behind us. Make sure you guys go stream that. We didn't do that not too long ago. We did that a couple months ago.
Shout out, Deb.
Yeah, but without further ado, yeah, so, man, we got another solo episode today. We haven't gave you guys this one in a minute. It's going to be a quick little episode today. It's only going to be like 25, 30 minutes. We're just going to go over some stuff. I think DJ has some stuff from last time that we got to talk about. I'm going to bring up some stuff. Someone for sure open the door, bro. Someone for sure open the door, bro.
Yeah.
This time. For sure. I mean, Marvin hasn't texted me anything, so I'm gonna just assume that we cool. Maybe they're just trying to get on the podcast, man.
Probably. I don't blame him.
I don't blame me. They're just trying to get down. I mean, I get it though. You feel me? Like, podcast is fire. Yeah, okay, so I got my boy DJ in here. He got some stuff that we talked about last time we're gonna bring up. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else, guys. I'm gonna try to bring back the vlogs for you guys. Like I said, we're working on a vlog right now. I haven't looked at all the footage, but from what I've seen, pretty fire, man. So shout out DJ, shout out that whole day. It was pretty funny. And from what I've seen so far, like I looked at the ones we did. Like I haven't really fully checked the ones walking outside the store, and then I looked at some in the store, and then I still haven't really checked out the one where we were on Melrose yet. But from what I've seen so far, it was pretty good. So I think the vlog's gonna come out really good. All my vlogs really come out really good. And shout out my friends. I always get my friends to my team, whoever it is, to record that shit, to be honest with you. And yeah, so I really appreciate it. And I think you guys are gonna like that vlog for sure. I think it was a very genuine vibe, cool day. And we're gonna like kind of add it on to this other one. But besides that, make sure you guys are following me, of course, at Jarrell. Let me know. Follow me on the gram. Pull up all my stuff right here. You guys can add me on Snapchat. I don't know. I don't really be on Snapchat for real, but for sure Instagram. Make sure you guys, of course, follow the podcast as well, and you're subscribed. Besides that, DJ, you want to kick us off with just like a little something?
I was gonna ask who's been your favorite guest
This is a good
episode on season 1 or season 2?
Okay, so this is a good question. Who's been my favorite guest
So far.
So far in season 1 and season 2?
Yeah.
I would have to say, like, and when you said my favorite, like recording the episode, like type of thing.
Like, yeah, recording. Like, was it just a fun time with them, or
I would
good
say the
episode
first,
with
like
them?
one of my first favorite ones would have to be DJ Dino. Shout out my brother Dino. We did an episode, and I think it was just a really good conversation. Like, I don't know, it was just a cool time because my brother Dino, me and him go way back, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we know each other since we're like 15 and 16. But at the time, I think like it was COVID, like very like 2021 or something like that. But it was just a good like catch up. So, and on top of that, the conversation was great. But Dino's a really well-known guy. If you guys know who DJ Dino is, like a lot of people know who he is, to be honest with you, bro. And honestly, shout out him. And we had a part 2. You guys can go stream that too as well. And it was funny because we talked about everything. Like the last time we was on the podcast, is everything was, you know, he was talking about getting his studio back up, you know what I mean? And I was trying to talk about my podcast, and that's going to be going up. And then now we link back up at my studio. Like, it was just crazy, you know? So, but back to the part 1, like, it was really cool because he's a well-known guy. Right now, you know, shout out him. He just opened up his first studio. He's got that in the works. You know, he's a manager for some artists in Long Beach. He's a Long Beach native. He's a DJ, entrepreneur, everything. So, you know, really shout out my brother. But the point is, a lot of people know Dino, and I guess like they don't really. It's cool to bring a lot of these interviews on because a lot of these people, it's for the most part, sometimes it's their first interview. So a lot of people really want to know what people have to say. You know, even DJ had probably that little experience too as well because he was on the podcast. And, you know, like I said, never been on it.
Yeah.
What did he say? Why did he just...
He said something, but...
Is Marv?
It wasn't clear. No, it wasn't Marv. It was 2. I don't know. I haven't seen those 2 dudes.
Well, Marv can text me. I got my phone right here, bro.
Yeah.
They're saying something to you, though?
No.
Oh, so why? They're not talking to you?
No, they just said something.
Oh, I don't know, bro. Well, let me know if they're saying something to you, though.
Nah, baby.
Oh, okay. I thought they were talking to you, but I thought...
They just looked at me, that's it.
Oh, well, let them. It's cool, bro. I told them we're just going to be in the booth. Whatever. You get me nervous, DJ. Stop. For real. Let me know, because that's why I keep checking my phone. But Marv will tell me real quick. But, yeah, so, you know, DJ can have that first-hand experience on what it's like. So, you know, when you brought on the podcast, that was your first time on the podcast, right, bro?
Yes, sir.
So, I'm pretty sure, not pretty sure,
even
but...
being on camera.
Yeah, being on camera. Really?
Yeah, like live, at least.
Like something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, how was that experience for you coming on my podcast?
It was pretty good. I mean, I had fun. It was a good day as well, too. But
Turn the mic.
For the first time...
Like towards you, like, towards the top. Yeah.
For the first time...
Pause, but yeah.
Being recorded, it was a little, you know, nerve-wracking at first, but just talking with you how we normally talk, like is if it was another day.
Yeah, so it wasn't too like, but it was different being on the podcast.
Yeah, it was different because now seeing, watching an episode is different.
Yeah,
being on an episode is different.
being part of the,
being
all that. Yeah, it's different aspects. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people just see what they want. A lot of people when they come in on the podcast, especially when I was doing it at my house, they would come. Stuff was already set up. I was already there. It was on the TV, so all they saw was the set. Yeah. They come do the podcast, and that's it. They walk off. I'm like, okay. But DJ, like I said, it's hard to. When I bring DJ, I always say different things, but it's hard because like some real shit. DJ is my boy, and then like he works with Jake, so he was already on my clothing team for like a long time, and then now he's like my assistant. So there's a bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying? But point is, DJ has definitely seen all aspects of my podcast and things to it. But back to like my favorite, yeah. So Dino was probably one of my favorite ones. A lot of people tuned in because it was just like. Dino never been on a podcast. Like it was just something like everybody really wanted to see, and it was just a great vibe. Like a lot of people, I got a lot of love on it. Like people were like, I love this. Like we were just smoking, chilling. Like I don't know, it was just a cool vibe. And that's the Real Me Real vibe is always like that. You know what I mean? But it was dope. It was for sure definitely a cool one. I'm trying to think what else in season 1. So I want to say Dino was my favorite one, and then HBK Joshi was definitely my favorite one. So when I started doing Joshi, that was really like manifesting stuff because Joshi was really cool because I'm a really big fan of Joshi and his music. So basically, like, it's just a different. I meet all these people, bro, and like it's always an honor and getting to know these people and talk to them and stuff like that. Like of course we do paid interviews and all that stuff, but it's always at the end of the day, it's always cool to talk to these people because you really have, these people come up on here and say all types of stuff. You guys gotta put yourself like maybe in my shoes for a second. Like just think of all the stuff I've heard and talked to about with all these different types of guests, and it's always cool. You know what I mean? To see people's different perspectives and stories and things they can relate on. You know what I mean? So I want to say like, yeah. So I want to say who else season 1? Dino is probably my top one, but I feel like I'm missing like a female girl episode that was pretty cool. Who was pretty cool? Ariana was a cool one. Shout out Ariana. That one did crazy.
Yeah.
It was pretty genuine. I was so in the beginning of that shit. Like it was quality so bad on it, man. Camera wasn't even set up right. No lighting. The mic audio was lagging it. Like, oh, man.
Damn.
But it was one of my best episodes at the time. And people loved it. Like, people loved that episode. Yeah. But, yeah, Joshie was great. So, but Joshie and Dino probably my top 2. HBK Joshie was cool because I love his music. So, when he was in there, I was kind of fanned out, bro. I was calling my boy, Booch at the time. I know you guys know Booch. I was calling Booch, and, like, it was so crazy because Booch was supposed to come. And he's the one that actually put me on HBK Joshie. Not really, but kind of pushed me to start listening to him. So it was kind of weird that he didn't end up coming, but he was like late. Like I was like, bro, he's coming right now. And I think what happened was this is what happened. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do Vooch like that. What happened was the first time Joshua was supposed to pull up, we had the set ready for him. Like I brought the homegirl, like I brought some girls out for him, like the homies. Like I was like ready. I was like, bro, Joshua's pulling up, let's go, right? So I had the set. Booch came up, we was ready to smoke, and then he like didn't come. And then after that, I think people just kind of like lost a little faith in me. And then I think I rescheduled. Like I think not the next day or the day after that. Yeah. And I think like that's why I think I was like the only one there. It was me and the homie were there. And one of my other friends that was just kicking it with me that happened to be there that day. But yeah, none of my other friends like really pulled up. Booch, like I just think they didn't think he was gonna come. I think, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
Because it was new season 1, like I said, probably a couple months in. I said a lot of people were going to come. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but I had a couple artists that, ranked it a couple times and shit like that. Or for sure reschedule, but don't come at all. But I have a lot of people that, reschedule. Sometimes the time doesn't come as it always does. So that was pretty much it, man. But he pulled up, bro, and it was lit. And the rest is history. And I ended up going on to interviewing his whole camp and then making my way through that LA. And shout out all my, my boys from Westmont out there. And shout out his manager for actually putting that together. Getting that podcast. His manager was fucking with me. Shout out Off the Muscle. He was really one that actually was fucking with the Real Meal Real. And actually shout out him. He actually tapped in a couple months ago and he's like, man, you know what? Everything you said you was gonna do, you've been doing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on the podcast. Because think about it, like when he brought Joshie on to the podcast, bro, I want to say, I was probably at 200 subs. Maybe 100 something, 100 subs. You know what I mean? No sponsorship deals. Didn't have West, Desto, but I didn't have any of that. So, when I was speaking into this, you know what I mean? So it's it's cool to get that recognition. When I have people tap back in, you know what I mean? And I get it from some other people. But you know, I just want to say shout out him just talking about that episode. You know, so he's always believed in me, and he took, you know, that's why he put Josh up on here. And I was one of the very few podcasts to get Josh Young. You know, at this point now he's been on No Jumper and whatever else. So yeah, I've done a lot of dope shit like that along my my career, my catalog. You know, I'm just getting started. You know, definitely one of the first podcasters to do a full episode in live store with Desto Dub. You know, you guys see that behind me as well. But moving on to season 2, brother, I want to say season 2, I got to give it to Sierra. That was a really good episode, man. Saw Sierra. Did you watch the episode?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. Sierra, she's one of my friends. We went to middle school together. Like I said, those are some of my best episodes. Like I said, some of these people I grew up with, you know, and I really want to, man, you know, the other day I just kind of looked at it like I'm really, you know, man, it's different now. You know, the real me is really different. So, and I'm trying to still, like I said, the last person I want to say I brought it was Rinks in here. Yeah. You know, like I said, I want to do more of these episodes with people that, you know, I grew up with. You feel me? Like I want to still say my ties to the community. You know, I hate to say this, but I really am in Hollywood now. Like it's a real thing. Like people have to really come out here to see me. So, or in downtown, I'm really out here. So the point is, you know, that we're not at the home set anymore. You know, if you guys follow us on the gram, we talked about that. We're not at the home set anymore. Sadly, I don't live there anymore. But you know, a lot of great memories, and that's where it started. And we'll forever remember that house. But yeah, bro. So those episodes, I want to keep doing that, and I want to like I said, bringing my boys on here. Those are a kind of a way of me showing that, you know, I'm still want to keep, you know, this is the real me. It's always gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, some people talk to me like, you know, I got people asking me my availability. It's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? In the podcast, at studio, it's a lot. It's a lot. But, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and I love it. And I really do. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm still just a kid out here. I'm just filming, and it's fun to me. And, no, it's never that serious. You know what I mean? I know I do have a rate, and I do have the whole thing. But, you know, anyone that really knows me knows I know a good opportunity when I see one when it comes to the podcast. And, you know, it usually pans out, and we can get you up on here. So if you're really out here and you really still fuck with the podcast, you know, like I said, I always tell everyone, like a lot of people ask me, you know, what's the podcast genuinely about, right? And I always tell them it's not really specifically about anything. I will tell them that I do interview a lot of people in entertainment. So, you know, you guys see like people like, you know, artists, producers, film directors, engineers like Marv, entrepreneurs like Leah Monet, people that do entertainment things, you know what I'm saying? So I will say that. But the whole point of the Real Me or Real is to be yourself, man. It's called The Real Me for a reason. I did this podcast to really genuinely, for people can actually know who I am. And, you know, like I said, bringing back to before this podcast, I did a lot of things in high school, and a lot of people have a lot of perspectives on who I am, especially even now that I do this. So, but the thing about this podcast is it's you're supposed to be yourself. It's called The Real Me for a reason. You know, there's nothing. All I want to do is have a genuine conversation. I'm not trying to get anything out of anybody. I'm not trying to highlight nothing. I'm not trying to bring anything up that doesn't want to be brought up. I just want to have whatever we're talking about. I want it to be real, man. I want you to be able to come in here and talk about it and be real. And that's why it's in the name, The Real Me. So that being said, if you're going to come up on here, you know, all my guests know what I always say before we start filming. I always say, there's anything you don't want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as we get these cameras on, it's all real. It's genuine, you know. I've only had very few moments where I had to really cut shit out. Like I had, shout out Heavenofsky, you know what I mean? Shout out her, Shorty. If you seen this, you know, we got to run it back. CB's actually tuned in. Man, she wild as fuck. She has no filter. She she came up on the podcast blasting. And I personally, for my public rep, for myself, I could not put the stuff that she was saying in there. Because I didn't even want to be a part of it. Like, the stuff that she was saying, bro, I didn't even want to, like, deal with that, bro. Because immediately what happens, a lot of things what happens is, I had a lot of people that, especially the little party people, like at first, when they would come up on the podcast, bro, they would come up out here and shade people. They would do it all the time. And then the next thing you know, they would all be in my DMs like, so when can I get a podcast?
Yeah.
And then the next person would come up on here and say, yeah, so such and such, blah, blah, blah. So I had people that would do that shit. And I did not want that shit going on because she was technically like, she's an entrepreneur. She has her own brand and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to throw shade, nothing like that. But she like goes to parties and stuff. So she does know people in the party scene. So that's honestly what she was honestly, a lot of shit she was talking about was people that were hard in the party scene. So the whole point is what I'm trying to say is I was not trying to get into all that. But season 2, I want to say Sierra. I love Sierra. It was good. It was a good podcast. She's a dancer. She's the first dancer I brought on the podcast for real. And she got to tell us the ins and outs on what's it's like and the facade of it and everything like that. And so that was really cool. But I'm trying to think about season 2. Of course, we got to give it to Desto Dub. It was a very great moment as a podcaster in my career. It's something I'll never forget. Just like filming my first episode in the studio, it's something that was really gonna stick with me forever. You know, just to be myself on my own show, and to, you know, make history like that, and to have my podcast in the middle of a store. You know, it was a great motherfucking feeling for sure. So I got to give that, and that was definitely part of season 2 as well. You know, we just did that 3 months ago. We just did that, and Notes in a Solid, of course, that was, you know, that was a great moment for myself too as well. You know, of course, we did the episode live in the Solid store. Sadly, I wasn't the first person to do it, but just as myself, and I'm not trying to compare myself to other people, but just the I want to say the growth and the things that I'm doing, and the amount of time that we've been starting, guys, it's great, and I love it. And I don't like to get caught up on things, you know, like I said, like to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying, brother? Did you take the wavy bar?
No, not yet.
All right, I'm just saying, bro, like, damn. But I like the 1,000 subscribers, of course. And this year, I'm trying to remind everybody, I'm about to hit 100,000 views. I'm very close to hitting 100,000 views, bro. If you guys don't know, all these episodes, they rack up, man. I'm telling you, right now, I'm currently almost at 70,000, and counting. So, like I said, I want to highlight these moments because very soon I am going to be it, and it is going to be that. You understand what I'm saying? And I got to make sure that I at least, self-accomplishment, self-love is very, and I wouldn't make it this far if I didn't have it. Let me tell you, man, some of my biggest moments, I was by myself. The minute I hit 1,000 subscribers, I was at the house by myself. No one was around me. Nobody. So, you know, when I did my first episode and I edited my first, you know, did all that, I was there by myself, man. Very few moments I had people around me. They're my biggest accomplishments, you know. So you gotta love yourself, man. You gotta highlight those things, man. I remember celebrating 10,000 views, bro. I said, this was crazy, dude. I was only doing a podcast for 4 or 5 months, brother, and I had 10,000 views on my podcast. Like, I was like, dude, this is dope, you know. So you have to stop and you gotta give yourself recognition, man. You know, especially when you're doing it at a rate like the way I'm doing it, you have to, man. No matter what rate you're actually doing it, if it's fast, slow, give yourself that credit, bro. Give yourself that credit. When I got sponsored in here, it was great. You know, there's things like that. Man, you know, getting my first deal, and now I got another deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta really highlight your stuff, man. But you know me, I'm very, how do you say it? I'm very driven, and I'm very ambitious.
Yeah.
Very ambitious. So DJ knows a lot of things are regular to me. And, you know, DJ's especially part of that. You know, he actually stops me, you know, and tells me, man, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? What you're doing is dope. You know, move yourself to Hollywood, you know, and surround yourself with people like that too as well to actually give you recognition on what you're doing as well. You know, shout out to you on that too, brother.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, I'm very ambitious, so people know around me that I'm not satisfied with shit, and I still think there's a lot of shit be going on. I'm hard on my people, and I think we ain't where we gotta be at yet. And you know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, man, that's what it is with me. That's my work ethic. And I think to get to where I'm going, that's what you have to have, man. I feel like we're running out of time every day. I'm 22. I'm saying I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So, and social media has a part to do with that, seeing a lot of people go up. But, man, I'm just hard on myself, and regardless, you know, I'm very, if not that, I love to prove a point. You know, this whole thing started with someone saying that this wasn't going to be shit. So, if you haven't noticed, it's some shit. And it's just getting there. Let me tell you right now, it's some fucking shit. So, this whole thing started with someone doubting me and people not believing in me and saying that I can have my own show. You understand what I'm saying? So now I got sponsors, I got deals, I got people that not execs, but you know, people higher up that speak highly of me when I'm not even in the room. So you understand, like, I've really made a lot of progress, bro, for sure. So yeah, man, you gotta have self-love. You gotta go over those things. You gotta give yourself that pat on the back. But I'm saying season 2, so you got Sierra, Desto, and
you said a Solid too.
Solid was a good one. Cypress was a good one. Jug season was a great one.
Yeah.
Shout out Jug, that was a really good episode. Mixed by Marv, one of my favorite ones.
Shout out Marv.
Shout out Marv, of course, that led to this.
Shout out Wavy Bars.
Yeah, shout out Wavy Bars, man. You haven't took that yet?
Nah, not yet. I'm gonna save it at John.
Okay, man. We pulling to the shop after this. You hit up Jake about the truckers?
Nah, I'm gonna call him. We got all busy.
All right, yeah, we have been busy. See, I've been on him about shit. You feel me? I'm on my team, man. But shout out DJ, bro. He gets it done every time.
Sir.
Yeah, but yeah, I gotta give it to those people. My few guests, yeah, for sure. I love them.
So, you know, following up with that question, I mean, by far,
What's up?
who would you say your worst guest is?
My worst guess?
in season 1 or 2, or one that you thought you didn't like the episode, or they were just not a good guest themselves.
First thing, I got to give it to, the man himself, AK, should be in jail, Khalik Scott. Got to give it to him, brother. He for sure topped it, definitely. I had some awkward moments, but Khalik definitely put it up there. Of course, we talked about it. The Leak podcast, he's a weird-ass dude. I don't care. I've said it before on my episodes, and I can personally say that because he's on my... you guys can go watch this live. You guys can go pull this up. It is on the podcast right now. It is literally him live being weird. So, you don't believe me? Go ahead and watch it for yourself. I literally watched him turn weird in front of me. So, I don't know what to tell y'all about that. But for sure, Khalik Scott, very awkward podcast. Just to summarize it for you, he basically was really getting mad at me because I don't have any sexual relationships with people that I work with. And he was trying to prove a point that I'm weird because I told people that I work with at the time, my assistant, that was a female, that she shouldn't have sexual relationships with people that I work with because she works for me. And that's called a conflict of interest. And he did not fuck with that. And he basically wasted 30 minutes of the episode trying to convince me, or at least coerce me to make it okay for that, for basically that okay, for me to allow that. And I wasn't going for it. And that's why I think Leak is weird, and besides the fact that he's 40 years old. So, got to give it to him. And then I want to say the other podcast nigga I would say is I don't know. Can you read me some names, bro?
Some names of the past guests.
Some random names. I'm trying to think, bro. Season 1 names. So just go like
season 1.
Oh, Joseph Nash was a good one. Wasn't weird, but he did come on here and say some pretty wild shit. But he's a YouTuber, so I was getting my foot into YouTube life. And let me tell you something about vloggers or YouTubers. And I don't consider myself a YouTuber, even though I'm on YouTube and I'm killing it. But let me tell you something about real life vloggers. As soon as the camera comes on, they know how to entertain you. They have a whole different side to them. So he came up on here and said that he was a virgin. It was some crazy, saying some wild stuff that he likes ghetto shorties and shit. It was funny as hell, but I did not expect that. Like I said, 4th episode, was not ready for that. Shout out Joseph. But that one, and then
you got like Yike, E-Killer.
E-Killer was a cool one.
Run That Back.
West was a cool one. Like I said, very nervous.
Angel Heaven Sent.
Heaven Sent. Those are all some pretty good interviews. I want to say by that time, all my interviews were pretty good. So if any weird ones, it would have to be in the first couple months, bro. But for the most part, I didn't really have too many weird ones besides that Leak. And then Joseph was kind of a little odd one. I had this guy from Catalina come on. It wasn't odd, but, it was just kind of interesting to hear his side from living in Catalina. So I want to say it was the worst, but those were just kind of ones I didn't expect. Yeah, so from season 2, I want to say... oh man, I hope she's not gonna see this. So I shout out my manager Steve. If you guys want a podcast, go DM Steve. We've debated about this, so we watched this podcast together. Of course, I've been in it, but watching my podcast are always two different things. So we did this one with this girl named Desi, Low-key Des. You know her? You might know her, bro. She's actually from out that way.
Probably.
Yeah, Low-key Desi. We did Desi, so we brought her on the podcast. It's on there. You can go look at it right now. Yeah, Desi. So we brought her on here. Cool. She was a fan of the podcast. You know what I mean? She's been watching the podcast. I was just at the time, I think I was trying to bring a lot of female guests in. So I just said, you know what, Desi, like, come in for a podcast. Should we do something? And she was cool, but her energy was just very like, yeah. Like, it was like, that's how she was talking, bro. And I was just like, I didn't know if it was real or not, bro. She was like, yeah, my dad gave me like everything, and then he stopped giving me stuff I got to work. And she was just very like talking. It was just very weird. And I was just like, I don't know. That was kind of like a weird one. But if you look at it, it doesn't look that weird. It's just I'm a good host, bro. It's not like I'm trying to be fake, but I'm just very respectful, and I know how to not make it awkward. So it was just, you would look at it and you would think anything's wrong, but just the way she's coming up. So.
Yeah.
You see it? You know her?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah. So her is cool. All right, what other couple questions before we gotta get up out of
here? What's the hardest lesson you've had to learn to this point?
Oh yeah, we could leave it on this one for sure. hard lesson I had to learn.
Yes, sir.
That at the end of the day, no one has you like yourself. No one's gonna pick you up. No one's gonna shout you out. No one's gonna have your back. No one is gonna tell you, I'm proud of you. No one's gonna do that more than yourself. And I think a lot of people need to realize that you gotta love yourself, man. You gotta. I was trying to emphasize that early in the episode, but that's definitely one of the biggest lessons I learned. I'm not that old, guys. I just turned 22 2 months ago. I'm not trying to sound like I'm an old head, but I am getting older and I am experiencing life and a lot of things. I've been going a lot, and I think DJ can definitely for sure vouch for me. You know, him being my friend, he's seen a lot of the things that I've been through,
All the trial
been going
and
through,
errors.
man. So you gotta understand, man. You gotta end of the day, you gotta have yourself, because that's what's gonna have you at the end of the day. You know, I take that however you guys want to, you know, take it. But when it comes down to it, when your back's against the wall or whatever the case is, you gotta, you know, it's gonna be up to you. And that being said, love yourself, take care of yourself, work on yourself, build yourself. You know what I mean? Like, really, you know, I tell people all the time, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of a lot of people. I'm really the biggest fan I am is myself. And if you guys haven't seen that, I created a show about my own name, The Real Me with Real, and I will be in my room watching myself on my own TV. So if you guys don't understand, and that's just a form of like my self-love. I always love myself, to my music, to anything I've honestly done. And that's really what it starts with. So always have yourself, always, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big lesson I learned, man. You want to think that a lot of people have your back, and a lot of people are this because they're that and they're related to you or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, no one really cares. And I'm sorry to say that. Some people do, but it's hard. You know what I mean? You got to have that mentality. Don't go through life thinking nobody cares about you. You know what I mean? But I just want to say, at the end of the day, you can't rely on other people to have you, like, when it comes to yourself, you know, because when you go through things, people are not going to care the way you think they are. And that's what I mean. I don't mean just you as a person. I just mean at the end of the day, when it comes down to it. So when it comes to my podcast, bro, people can say, yeah, I love this, none of that. But at the end of the day, it's not their problem, and it's really up to me. So when I take a loss, if I lose my sponsorship, whatever the case may be, right, or something goes on, who am I going to turn to that's going to, you know what I'm saying? It's really up to me. And I'm just trying to give you guys an example, bro. I don't want to say that I'm out here saying that no one cares about you. You are loved, but you do want to love yourself as well, especially growing up. You know, that's something I learned. But
You can't love anybody else before you love yourself.
How you going to love me if you don't love myself? You know, how's Kodak say? He's like, how you going to love me? How you going to love me? He's like, how you gonna love me? I don't love myself. I don't know. It's vulnerable. Go over listen to that song. It's good. But besides that, we gotta get up out of here, man. They got a meeting going on with Interscope or something like that, so we gotta get up out of here. And I don't want to get in trouble. And yeah, so I'm barely really in here, so I'm really cool. But yeah, shout out Mixed by Mar, my sponsor. He really took me out of my crib and put me up in here. So we about to wrap it up. Someone open the door? Yeah. I'm wrapped it up. But we're about to wrap this up. Look, the perfect timing. But besides that, make sure you guys, of course, are tuned in to the latest episode we just did with Milo. We just filmed that live inside the store. Like I said, a lot of content coming in there. Make sure you guys are following me on all social media platforms. Of course, me at Jarrell, at the Real Me Real Podcast, TikTok. All that stuff is in the description. If you guys are listening right now, give me a 5-star on Spotify. Of course, if you guys don't know, all this stuff is in the description. You can listen to these episodes live for those who just love to listen. If not, I don't know, get yourself some clothing. Of course, we got Affordable Merch. Season 2 logo is out right now. Get yourself a trucker hat, get yourself a beanie, shirt, sweats, hoodie, pullover, zip-ups. Whatever it is, we got it. And affordable rates. And I guess the best part is nothing over $40. And if not, of course, another thing is this video is sponsored by Loud Laws. Go get yourself a pack of Loud Laws. Shop loudlaws.com right now. Get yourself a pack of 6 premium wash cut. And of course, this video is also sponsored by Wavy Bar, Mixed by Marv's Wavy Bar business. You guys can go get yourself shrooms for as low as, I don't know if I got a really good homie discount, so I'm not going to set this discount online or on the podcast right now. So I'm not going to be bled for that. So I don't want people going over there getting a discount. But if there isn't a discount, you get it for the low, and I'm pretty sure it's a good price anyways. But go get those right now around Wavy Bar. And if not, make sure you guys follow me at Jarrell. I think I already said that. But until then, my boy DJ, he was in the cut. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Real Me Real Podcast.
Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you.
Nah, for real. And likewise, and until then, I'm going to see you on the next episode, for real.